Hello everyone, this is Marcus, and today I would like to give you my first thought and on the format that was just announced yesterday. I'm a little bit late to the party since other YouTubers or like other people who do YouTube already uploaded videos about what they think. But yeah, we got the new format, you've probably heard about it. VGC 2016 will be, yeah, with a lot of stuff that we haven't seen around since 2010 really, since that was the last year where, yeah, so-called Ubers were allowed. Um, the restriction part is a little bit different this year, as you can only have 2 restricted mons in your 6 rather than in your the 4 you bring to the battle. Which yeah, that's what it was in 2010, and I really loved the format. In 2010, it was like the first format where I was like, yeah, going to nationals. I played in 2009, but nationals, yeah, I was pretty young back then, but yeah, 2010 was a great time. Yeah, shoutouts to all the guys from like Scar and Bliss back then and so on. Yeah, I really enjoyed the format, and yes, so I'm really looking forward to this. I played around, I don't know, 30 to 40 games of the new format yesterday. I got to the first place of the Pokemon Showdown ladder. However, yeah, when it was like pretty new, I think it was like, yeah, with like 15 wins and 2 losses or something, and got second place in the first Showdown tournament that was held. So I think I have like at least like a small idea about what this format might be about, at least in like the days like now. It can probably shift a lot up until like it is officially introduced on 1st January, and then the first tournaments and so on. But yeah, first of all, I'd like to like talk a little bit about a primarily tier list that none other than 3-time world champion and also the 2010 world champion Rizzo posted on his YouTube channel. You probably watched his video. If you didn't, then you should probably check it out before you want to hear what I have to say to this. The link is in the description to his video, and yeah, let's have a look. He says that Primal Groudon will be like the best mon in the format most likely, and I definitely have to agree with that. I will agree with a lot of points he made in his video, but I still wanted to talk about it a little bit. Um, since I think with at least one Pokemon, I think that he's a little bit wrong, but he's also a better player than I am, so maybe he sees stuff that I don't see, but maybe he just doesn't know what the thing can do. And yeah, we'll talk about this when I get to the Pokemon, but yeah, I have something I do not agree with. However, yeah, I do agree with Primal Groudon being the best mon in the format, most likely. I mean, it's not a Mega Evolution. You can have a Mega next to it. You can have another Uber next to it. Yeah, it gets Fire, which is nice against Xerneas, which will probably be huge. It is immune to Water-type attacks. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. And if you skill swap it with your Cresselia, which is something I'm going to address later on, yeah, you don't have any weaknesses. You can resort the deserted land sun thing, and yeah, it's pretty strong. Its signature move, perceptible blades or whatever it's called, hits both opponents, are very strong. The accuracy is a little bit lackluster with 85, but you can combine that with gravity. Then you will always hit also like flying type opponents, which is something that is pretty strong probably. And yeah, all in all, very strong Pokemon, really great stats, 180 attack. I think only like Mega Heracross and Mega Mewtwo X do have more attack, but yeah, that is just crazy. And Fire Stab also pretty nice. Overheat, strong stab, even if you don't invest in special attack, can one-shot AG Slash, for example, and yeah, a couple of other stuffs too. So yeah, Groudon probably the best one in the format. Um, then I think I'm not sure if it's like going to be second best, but I think what is also going to be very strong is Kyogre, because if you manage to get up your rain thing, your steady rain thing, then you can just beat Groudon. And while obviously if Groudon can just switch into Primal Kyogre's Water Spout, for example, because of its ability, but I think something we're going to see in the future is like stuff like, I don't know, Worry Seed, skill swap, obviously, role play, stuff that messes around with your abilities and or like messes around with the opponent's abilities, or that resets your own weather abilities. I think that is going to be the main theme probably of this format, even if it stays like Groudon versus Kyogre. But I think that in theory, if Groudon is like well supported, it can beat like if Kyogre is well supported, it can beat Groudon's. So I'm very interested in seeing what players come up with. I think you can be very creative in the ways that you want to like, yeah, set up your steady rain again. And I think, yeah, that Kyogre probably might be up there with Groudon, but I'm not entirely sure yet. So yeah, I think the way Ray did it was is pretty nice. He said it was a wild card. However, I think it's more like Kyogre is probably like a wild card between S plus tier and S tier, and I don't think it will be like worse than Dialga, for example, that he listed in S tier. So yeah, let's come to the Dialga. I think Dialga is something that like if you pick up the format, you probably are more looking into like Primal Groudon, Primal Kyogre, Xerneas with the crazy Geomancy, Mega Rayquaza, like the powerhouses of the format. But yeah, I think Ray's adjustment here is pretty nice. He says that Dialga with like its natural bulk, the nice typing, access to Trick Room, which is always very nice for an Uber, as you can have Cresselia and Dialga as double Trick Room setters. Yeah, 2 months he used himself to win the 2010 World Championship. So yeah, that is kind of nice. Also, yeah, Flash Cannon, probably nice tech versus Gurnias, a nice stab. Yeah, it has Draco Meteor and also like Fire Blast and so on and so on. So I think Dialga pretty nice. I'm not sure if it can keep up with the other four, like with Groudon, Xerneas, Kyogre, and maybe, yeah, with Mega Rayquaza it should be able to yeah, keep up with that, but I'm not sure if it's like if it deserves to be like separated in S tier and like I don't know. I think maybe like it's possible that it drops to like A tier. Also, like all the classifications like S tier, A tier, they don't really mean anything. Yeah, you know, you can use anything basically. But yeah, just going by what Ray did or like how he listed the stuff, I think Dialga might be like in like A tier at some point. However, it might also be the case that Trick Room like is the main way to go about this format, which I think is possible. So because you can, that would allow you to run like a lot of bulk on everything, like max HP Groudon, max HP Dialga, and so on. And yeah, that can be really nice. So yeah, I can see Trick Room pretty strong. Then there's Xerneas, obviously. I think the only set you want to run with Xerneas is Geomancy, Power Herb, Geomancy. Think about it. Geomancy is a move with Power Herb. Imagine you had like a Sylveon with Pixie Plate, and then you would use Calm Mind 2 times and Agility, but in one turn. I think that's pretty like not broken, but like very strong. So I think teams that hardcore set up Xerneas with like redirection and multiple fake outs can be really good. In fact, I used a team based around Kangaskhan, Xerneas, and Smeargle to like be like a little bit successful on like the early ladder. I mean, it doesn't really mean anything, but people didn't have Lumberries and so on. So yeah, I think that could be an archetype that might have some success at some point, probably. But yeah, Xerneas is definitely something to watch out for. You should definitely have at least 2 fairy resistances, I would say. I mean, you're probably going to have like steel types. I think Aegislash does a nice job. You could even think about going with Gyro Ball or Iron Head on your Aegislash, just to make sure that you bypass the +2 Spadef boost on Xerneas. And you don't really need any attack EVs for Gyro Ball to one-hit KO +2 speed Xerneas, so that could be something to look into. But yeah, I should have said that later. I have another like yeah, I'll just go on. But yeah, Xerneas is pretty strong. I'll talk about stuff to how to counter it or how I think that it could be dealt with later on. Mega Rayquaza, like Ray, I'm not sure at all about this. I could see it becoming good, but I don't think that like the good movesets have been figured out. I saw multiple stuff like you could run Focus Sash or like Lumberry and even Swagger yourself, which is something that was suggested. Or you could go with Life Orb and just Brute Force or mixed set. I don't know. Setup, Sword Dance, or Dragon Dance. I think there's a lot of options, and yeah, we need to figure out how to use this thing. I think it can be powerful because, I mean, obviously it is powerful. Like, it has the stats to pull it off. It has the speed, most notably, to outspeed all the other Ubers except for like Mewtwo and so on. But yeah, very very strong. Um, yeah, it takes up your mega slot, but you can still have an item. And I think freeing up kinda your mega slot might not be like the worst of things because maybe I talk also about this when I come to Mewtwo. I think maybe there is a chance that like Mega Rayquaza has some cool partner that it can really help it set up. I come to a partner that I think could be good with it later on. But yeah, I'm not sure where this is going to end up. I'm very interested in seeing that. Yeah, you can't use Kangaskhan if you have Rayquaza. You can't use Mobile, but yeah, still definitely very strong. Then in B tier, Ray didn't really know where to put like Mewtwo. The Mewtwo's Palkia. Um, yeah, I'm not sure either. I think both Mewtwo's have some potential. Um, like Mewtwo X, the fighting type one with Steadfast, definitely very, very good against Kangaskhan. Since, yeah, if it flinches, it gets +1 speed. I mean, it's pretty fast anyway, but still, that's something. Also, yeah, high attack stat, low kick, I think, and a lot of bulk. So no, not a lot of bulk, but it can be bulky, like if you really wanted it to be bulky, I guess. So yeah, Mewtwo, pretty nice. Mewtwo Wipe, Psy Strike, nice coverage, very strong, but like almost no multi-hit moves. And yeah, something you could do in 2010 was have Mewtwo plus a Bomber Snow and Blizzard on Mewtwo. However, right now with the weather, that is not a really good idea because Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre just shut that down. So yeah, I'm not too sure about Palkia either. I'm the same opinion of Ray that if you could have up to like 4 Ubers in your team of 6, but only bring to the battle of 4, then I could see Palkia being like something you would bring against Kyogre teams only. But I think Palkia really like struggles against Xerneas, against Mega Rayquaza. I mean, it could take a hit with Havenberry, but still also struggles against Dialga kinda. But yeah, once again, Havenberry helps with that. But I think Palkia would be a lot better if you like had 3 Ubers to choose from, and then if you see that your opponent has like a rain team, you would bring Palkia, and then it could help there. And if the opponent doesn't have a rain team, then I don't know. Like I just think that Palkia would be way better then. But as it is right now, I think you probably have to run Palkia with Kyogre, maybe. Like that would probably be the best option, I guess. I mean, it's the obvious thing, but then if you don't get your rain up, you're in trouble. Palkia can't really support the team. Except for Trick Room, it also has Trick Room, which is something that was sometimes seen in 2010. So you should probably be aware of that. But apart from that, yeah, I don't really know how strong it can be. Then the 2 Giratinas, we're coming to C tier right now. Yeah, I agree, they're pretty low. I think there's a chance that a bulky set of Giratina could be useful. It can use Will-O-Wisp, which is kind of nice, but it cannot burn Primal Groudon, as it was noted, so yeah, that kind of sucks. Also, yeah, like similar like Palkia, I think Giratina O would be something that could be pretty good against teams with Primal Groudon, because yeah, it's immune to ground type attacks, and yeah, like Overheat, Fire Punch, or Rock Slide won't do too much, so that would be kind of nice. But against Kyogre, it can't really do much, or against like Xerneas, I don't know. So yeah, once again, I think it would be more healthy for mons like that if you could have up to like 4 Ubers, or if you could have 3. But yeah, not worth it in my opinion. If you like, unless you've come up with something really clever. Then same for like all the others. Like I don't want to talk about each of them. I mean, Lugia, Ho-Oh, Reshiram, Sekrom, Kyurem White, Groudon. Some people say Kyurem White has potential. I don't know. Maybe you could like choice scarf it, I guess. Probably Sekrom also nice typing against Groudon teams, but against Kyogre teams, but sucks against Groudon. So yeah, once again, that's also something. Like the other ones, like basically you want to have your Ubers not be weak to either Groudon or Kyogre, because you're going to face them in like, I don't know, I would say 90% of the battles right now have at least one of Groudon or Kyogre. So yeah, you want to be prepared for both of them, I guess. So And then we're come to the one that I think could be good, but Ray said it wouldn't be good, which is Yveltal. Um, I'm not sure why he listed it in F tier, but I think it's definitely way better than some of the stuff in C tier. Yveltal, with its ability Dark Aura, boosts our Dark type attacks by 30%, I believe. And yeah, that in itself, it's kind of nice. I mean, you can have, for example, Mawile and have boosted Sucker Punches, or um, yeah, something like there is a video about the I'm not sure what the tournament was called, Generation Showdown probably. There was a Wi-Fi tournament that had like almost the exact same rule set, except for that Pentagon rule wasn't in effect, um, which is kind of a bummer because, for example, I'll link some videos in the description. They're uploaded to the official Pokemon's YouTube, and in one of the battles, there's someone using like a Landorus Eye with Sheer Force and Life Orb, which is something that also 2014 World Champion Sejun Park used in his team when he played in that competition, which he published on his blog. Um, and yeah, that is kind of nice because it can one-hit KO Primal Groudon with Earth Power and one-hit KO Primal Kyogre with Grass Knot, I think. I'm not sure if it can KO Groudon, if it can KO Kyogre, but yeah, at least if it's not that bulky. So yeah, very strong Mon, definitely, and yeah, but it's like without Sheer Force, Earth Power is just very bad, and you can't like have sand with it because of the permanent weather from Groudon and Kyogre, so yeah, that's kind of not possible. However, yeah, like Yveltal, which is what I mainly wanted to talk about, I think it can be pretty good because Foul Play gets boosted by Dark Aura and hits like Primal Groudon for a lot of damage. It's unaffected by ground moves and has some nice moves you could try out. I'm not saying it'll be in like S tier or anything, but I think that it could be in like, I don't know, B or C tier maybe. As I said, there is one battle where someone has an Yveltal and he uses it with like a Liepard, so it boosts the fall play of the Leopard. That doesn't come into effect in that battle, but I think that's some synergy behind that. And then he also has a Mega Tyranitar, which I thought was pretty interesting. So he had like boosted Crunches, for example. And yeah, I think that is kind of nice. I linked the video in the description, and I think that Yveltal definitely has a lot more potential than Ray gave it credit. So yeah, that's why I kind of wanted to talk about his tier list a little bit because yeah, I don't know. Maybe Ray's right. Don't get me wrong. Maybe he yeah thought all of this through and still thinks that Yveltal doesn't do anything. But I think it could be pretty good. And so yeah, maybe it's good. Maybe it's bad. Zygarde is definitely bad. I mean, there's no discussion about that. But yeah, test out Yveltal and let me know what you think. And yeah, um, that's it with his tier list. Just if you're just starting, here's some like combinations to watch out for that I think are pretty common at the moment. The first I listed here is Primal Kyogre plus Cresselia. Well, the synergy behind that is basically that you can like use any sort of speed control with Cresselia, like Thunder Wave or Icy Wind or Trick Room, to make sure that your Groudon goes, your Kyogre goes first, and then you do have Skill Swap, for example, to reset the weather. I think, as I said, skill swapping and so on could be a very important theme in this format. So yeah, that can be kind of nice. I mean, in 2010 you had like Sunny Day or Rain Dance, for example, to disrupt weather, and then you had like Tyranitar and Abomasnow. However, neither of those do anything in this format, so you have like to rely on the abilities of your primals and skill swap them or role play them, worry seed them away, be creative, as I said. So that is something to watch out, definitely. Then something else that people have already discovered is Xerneas plus Kangaskhan. Um, yeah, the synergy behind that is you fake out with Kangaskhan turn 1 and go for a Geomancy, and then you just go for knockouts. Double Edge, Low Kick, Sucker Punch, Kangaskhan can really hurt a lot of stuff like, I don't know, like Steel types can be low kicked, and you can just do a lot of damage. Here I wanted to talk a little bit about stuff that counters that. I think you can go with Aegislash or Mawile pretty nicely here. Also, Primal Groudon is pretty good. As I said, you could even go for Gyro Ball or Iron Head on Aegislash. You have to run some calcs there, but I think Gyro Ball can one-hit KO plus 2 speed, Xerneas. And yeah. So definitely watch out for that. Xerneas could pack Hidden Power Ground though, so be aware of that. And I think it could, in theory, also be in Power Fire. if you have like Proto Groudon next to it. But I have to run some calcs how strong that actually is. I'm not really sure, but I think that's what I saw on some of them. Talking about Primal Groudon, you can definitely also expect to see a lot of Cresselia plus Primal Groudon. Cresselia with Skill Swap, once again, same synergy as with Kyogre, however, you can run moves like, I don't know, Earthquake on Groudon to like exploit Levitate on the Cresselia. However, if you Skill Swap yourself, that's not the best idea. Giving Levitate to Groudon, unlike with Kyogre, where like, well, like Levitate Kyogre is probably like one of the better checks to Primal Groudon, especially if you have your weather up, then you definitely beat it. But even without it, yeah, like Levitating Kyogre with Ice Beam can one-on-one Primal Groudon even in the sun, so that is kind of nice. And then, yeah, Primal Groudon, if you give it Levitate, it doesn't have any weaknesses at all as long as the sun is up, so that is kind of good, I guess. Once again, expect Cresselia to have all types of speed control: Thunder Wave, Icy Wind, and Trick Room. If it's Trick Room, then it's most likely also like Min Speed Groudon, so yeah, be aware of that. Helping Hand, and its spread signature move. Kyogre's is Origin Pulse, I think. Perceptible Blades or something. I don't know. It's very strong. Watch out for that. Also, something I touched on earlier, Gravity is something to watch out for. So even if you think that you're safe, maybe even with your own Levitating Groudon, there could be Gravity, and then, yeah, you can still be hit by the Ground-type moves. And the last combination that I wanted to touch on, because it's like the fourth of like the probably the best Ubers. I don't know, like Dialga doesn't really have like a lot of like combinations that stand out to me, but I think that something like Mega Rayquaza plus Togekiss could be something that people might exploit at some point. Rayquaza's Delta Storm gets rid of Flying types weaknesses, so yeah, Togekiss is not weak to Rock, Electric type moves or Ice moves anymore, and yeah, it can redirect quite a bit. Follow Me away Draco Meteors, for example, and then Rayquaza could go for, I don't know, Sword Dance or Dragonite. However, this is only theoretical. I didn't test this combination out yet. However, I really want to build a team with that, and I'm not really sure. Maybe it's easily dealt with. I don't know, like Thundurus seems to be strong against it. Even, I don't know, maybe Cresselia, I'm not sure. But yeah, let me know what you think. If did you encounter a team like this before, or yeah, do you want to try it out? I don't know. Let me think. Let me sorry. Let me know what you think about the format as a whole. I didn't make my final opinion yet. I think it's definitely refreshing to have some kind of changes right now. I mean, new rules, and all of a sudden, all the teams look different, which is kind of nice. But yeah, I'm not too sure that this format is like so flexible. But we will see. Maybe some interesting stuff comes up. I think Yveltal is something that could pick up on popularity eventually. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, and if you enjoyed this, leave a like or subscribe and so on. I also kind of want to do videos about the new format, obviously, but I have one last tournament, one last regional in 2015. So also let me know what you think about this. Should I continue doing Yoshi's Online Battles in 2015? Since there is no in-game ladder yet for the new format, that's probably what I have to do anyway. But like, yeah, I might start doing like individual analysis on the mons that I think could be good. However, Aaron also said that he wanted to do that, Cybertron, so I'll leave that for him. But I don't know, like if you feel like you want to have more content, and I'm pretty sure people want to have more content about this, yeah, if you have any cool idea what I could do for this without like playing on the DS, then just let me know. Don't think Showdown is too nice either, but yeah, maybe you like that, just let me know, and see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and bye.